Red vs. Blue Season 15 Episode 1 Prologue has officially released, so let me break it down for you. Now first let me say, I'm sorry. I didn't know in the trailer you were capable of uninverting an inverted picture. So when you do that, yes, he is in the church-colored armor, and we very quickly learn that in this episode. I thought that moment was going to be a reveal way down the line, but nope. I guess all the writers knew that we wouldn't believe that these were the real Reds and Blues, so they just got it out of the way immediately. However, on the off chance that these are the real Reds and Blues, I would probably honestly just be befuddled. Some people believe that Church's AI had split and infected most of the others. However, logically speaking, it's more of a higher chance that these are just fakes. So for right now, until otherwise stated, I'm just gonna refer to these guys as the Psycho Reds and Blues. So the Psycho Reds and Blues set a bomb and killed all these random soldiers, which is unfortunate. I mean, they were only on screen for like a minute and a half, but it was sad to see them die so quickly. So everyone's killed, Psycho Church walks off the plane and takes off his helmet and leaves it there for evidence. Make sure people know that these are the Reds and Blues who did this. So I presume that these psychos are doing what everyone's thinking to ruin the Reds and Blues reputation and make them criminals. We then cut to the female reporter Dylan Andrews. Her name, technically speaking, hasn't been said yet, but with a few tweets asking about who this is, and then the name drop of Dylan, when you go back, bam, there's an article about the Reds and Blues written by Dylan Andrews, and it's even said later in the episode, she profiled the Reds and Blues after Project Freelancer. So Dylan is hunting the truth, much like all those promos for Halo 5. The truth is what we seek. Let's just hope that it's not nearly as anticlimactic. She's interacted with them on a currently unknown amount of time, but judging by the way she talks about them, it was long enough to become familiar with them to know that they are not these kinds of psychopaths. Now, judging by this episode, it would appear as though Dylan is going to be the main character, or at least the main focus for this season. And if that is to be true, I am personally fine with that. While I like the Reds and Blues, I understand that it's only getting harder and harder to write stories about them when you want to keep them as the most anonymous group of characters ever. So to write stories about them without wanting to give them a backstory or something can get harder, so I'm perfectly fine with introducing all these new characters for a whole new story arc. We meet her boss, Carlos something. You know who he reminds me of, weirdly enough? He reminds me of Andy the Bomb. Just like his mannerisms, his outright disrespect, or more so his lack of caring about what he's saying. He just seems to not care what he says or who he says it to. It just reminded me of Andy. I mean, technically speaking, Andy was an AI, and as we've learned, all AI are based off of someone. So, right? Right? I'm just kidding, that's probably not true. We also had Dylan's partner. I don't believe we've learned his name yet. She calls him DeCroy, but more than likely that was just an alias. I liked him. Like, obviously the show is scripted, but his response was just so quick-witted, I enjoyed it way too much for just a simple joke.
Ain't that right, DeCroy?
We.
So Dylan is following in Agent Wash's footsteps and is headed all the way back to Blood Gulch. And let me say, I get it, it was Sister we saw in the trailer, it just sounded like Tucker to me. So perhaps we may learn why or how Lopez didn't kill her. I mean, we saw her in season 13, but it would appear as though Sister may have a little more than just a cameo this season, which I hope is the case. So I myself am liking what I'm seeing so far with this season. Be sure to let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and I'll see you in the next episode.